We caught up with Congressman Adrian Smith asking about the latest on trade. Well, Congressman, a lot of concern certainly on the trade issues. We've seen some movement this week with Mexico. Are you encouraged by the direction things are going?
I am encouraged that progress has been made, certainly with Mexico. I think there's more work to be completed with Canada. Canada has some trade policies in place that are really not what open and fair trade should be about. So I think there's room for improvement. I don't expect perfection, but the fact of moving us forward in a more modern structure for NAFTA is what the objective is, and I'm encouraged that we can get there. But on the tariff issue, we have a lot of work to do, and the sooner we can get this resolved, the better. Obviously, China is the bad actor here with the tariff issue. Of course, the NAFTA renegotiation, like with Mexico and Canada, that's really a separate issue, although there's a lot of overlap anytime you talk about trade. And trade is so important. You know, U.S. agriculture is very productive. We produce more than we consume in the U.S., and we want markets to be able to sell that.
So I talked to a lot of egg producers. They would much rather have trade deals than this relief package. I mean, would you agree with that, that you'd rather not see the government have to, take an interventionist type approach there and prop things up, but let's open those markets up?
Absolutely. Open trade, fair trade, where there's a level playing field. Trade agreements are really the best way to approach that. Now, I'm actually a little bit surprised. So many of my colleagues in Washington who have always voted against trade agreements, now they seem to be concerned about the tariff proposals. I actually see that as a good thing. So let's take that. Let's move forward on some trade agreements. I introduced a resolution calling for a trade agreement with Japan. And even though we've got a fairly decent trade relationship with Japan, obviously they buy a lot of our beef and corn and so forth, but there needs to be a leveling of the playing field with Japan.
Certainly those disruptions in the market, that's not healthy, that's not good for anybody, is it?
No, it isn't. And obviously though, China being the bad actor, that does show the urgency to address that as well. There are a number of ways we can do that. The president has chosen this tariff situation, and he's very serious about this, and I think people understand that, and I think that's helping us move forward though, and make some progress on that.
All right, well, Congressman, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
CPI unveils a brand new dry fertilizer facility. NTV's Sydney Edwards has more.
This facility was built to house the needs of CPI's 5,000 owners and growers.
So this is really an asset to take care of our customers for today and in the future.
Laramie Silo, the vice president of agronomy, says the lifespan of this building could be over 50 years, taking most of the work away from the other 8 facilities. Silo says the older facilities will still be in operation, but now the new one can keep up with the pace of their growers.
Well, with the equipment by itself here behind me, it's capable of loading out a lot of trucks in a short amount of time, and doing it with a minimal amount of effort on our employees' part to keep them in a good, safe work environment.
This facility houses a 400-ton blend tower. With that large of a tower, it can load a truck from start to finish in about 4 minutes. Their older facilities would take nearly an hour.
The receiving equipment in this building is rated at 1,200 tons per hour. It's capable of unloading a rail car every 5 minutes.
These fertilizer bays are holding products like nitrogen, boron, and zinc, and the facility is currently just 25% full.
Those 13 bays should be able to take care of all of our growers' needs. Any products that is required that doesn't fit in those, though, we can handle in 50-pound bags or in mini bulk bags.
This building is also technologically advanced, with Wi-Fi, heated floors to keep humidity down, and some of the work can now be done by iPad. Silo also mentions the technical work done by local contractors and electricians.
The only thing this facility is waiting on now is for loadout automation to be finished, which Silo says should be in the next few weeks. Sydney Edwards, NTV News, Hastings.
Joining us now is Collegiate Beef Ambassador Devon. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having
me. Made him take off his cowboy hat to have the headset on. But, what is a beef ambassador?
So really, it just provides an opportunity. There's a competition every year, which will be actually in Columbus this upcoming year. I can touch on that later. But it really provides an opportunity for both high school and collegiate students to compete for being future spokespersons for the beef industry. So kind of what that entails is they got there's 3 different events that they can do. There's an issue response where we have an opportunity to go in a room for about 30 minutes and we read an article and then we have to respond to that. So that's judged primarily on the message you're sending through that and how that could be received potentially from other people that are viewing that. In addition to that, there's a mock media interview. It's kind of testing your knowledge on the beef industry, maybe what your future career plans are, and then most importantly, something we overlook a lot actually as a beef producer is just telling your story, which is hard to do because we want to throw out facts and science, which obviously has its place. But it's just a good opportunity to tell your story, where you came from. And me personally, I love the beef industry. I'm very passionate about it, so that's really enticing for me to do something like that. And then in addition, there's a consumer promotion project where it's kind of a situation where if people are coming up to you, how you remain collected through conveying information to them and answering the questions that they may have. So it's really about how you'll be able to educate people and how you'll handle that and be collected and calm through it. So
yeah, great, preparing you for your work here at the Nebraska State Fair.
Exactly, yeah.
Later we head to the birthing pavilion. Weather is up next.